Ollie and Amelia were diagnosed with a rare genetic disease called Batten's. So what I've decided to do is to run a marathon pulling a plane. So in this challenge, a lot of people think it's too far because it's a whole new level of crazy. The pain is going to be insane in the exhaustion, but the driving force is Ollie and Amelia, because I mean those kids and the parents have gone through more than most people could ever imagine. Hearing the story of how Ollie was first diagnosed with the disease and how he deteriorated so quickly is heartbreaking. Literally nothing worse than the story I was told.
This is Ollie, this is Amelia, and they've both got CNL2 Batten's disease. And basically what that is, it's you've got a gene in your brain that produces enzymes that gets rid of all the rubbish and proteins in the brain, and both Ollie and Amelia lack that.
I've set crazy challenges in the past, and everybody knows that I do some rather insane things for charity. But now it's really important to get in the eyes of the public, raise awareness for this horrendous disease, and raise the money that will help not only Ollie and Amelia, but every child who gets diagnosed with Batten's disease. Tomorrow, I set off to the airfield with an amazing support team, including Mike, who's the father of Ollie and Amelia. He'll be by my side for the entirety of the amazing journey.
You know what it was? The first one is that we were travelling back from London, and my friend phoned me. And he said, some guy's pulling a plane, running a marathon for Ollies Army. I was like, are you sure? So he says, yeah, my friend goes to his martial arts school. So I looked up Carl, and he'd done a live video. Then we made contact, got in touch with Carl, and I just thought, you are absolutely insane. Insane. And everyone you speak to says the same thing. It's such an insane challenge, but there's not many people that can complete this. Well, in fact, I don't know anyone. But he's just got a mindset of, I'm doing it, and I'm going to complete it.
It seems like everybody nowadays has run a marathon, so you've got to find a way to take what people will do and think isn't possible, times it by 10. That's what the Carl Thomas Project is all about. So a few years back, I got the train to London, and at 9 AM the following day, I ran back to Stockport, running a marathon day for 10 days. And at this point, I'd never actually run a marathon. And now here we are at the airfield for the hardest challenge imaginable, and setting a world record by running a marathon, pulling a plane.
He has these mad ideas to do stuff to raise the money that's needed, and it's just about doing stuff that's bizarre, like running 10 marathons back from London to Manchester and cycling up to Stirling Castle and then back down in one day. It's just one of these crazy ideas he has, and it's like, right, well, let's pull a plane for a marathon. Yeah, kind of mentalist, what he does. And it's insane what he's putting himself through in terms of the pressure on his legs. What's he done now? Virtually 5 miles he's in now. And he's suffering bad. But he'll do it, he'll smash it.
Halfway through the third lap.
Exhaustion level is everything from, it's a weird one, it's like your head feels cold but on the inside, and then you want to try and say something but the words come out almost as if you've had a drink. That's probably the best way to kind of describe the exhaustion. But the level of cold, and when anyone says anything to you, if they ask you a question and you can't get the question out in time, and then they ask you another question, but you can't get that answer out in time, and then you start to get almost a bit irritable and a bit annoyed. I think that's probably the best way to explain it. I reckon that when we all went back for that 5-minute break, and the whole team, instead of being out on the airfield, were back in our little hub, our little hut at the side of the airfield, everybody had 5 minutes of silence just to kind of, one, give themselves a break, try and relax, have a cup of tea. But two, I think it hit home how hard this was, as the people who weren't pulling a plane were also exhausted and were struggling.
Good God, man, I mean, who in the right mind would do stuff like this? I said, right, he rode 1,500 miles on a bike, he ran from London to Stockport in 10 days, and now he's pulling a plane for the length of a marathon. I mean, inspirational is an understatement, really, isn't it? It's incredible what he's doing.
So the problem now is that I'm 36 years of age. So the majority of people doing this level of crazy challenges are like a decade younger than me. But I do think that mentality over physicality, and I still think there's quite a lot left in the tank. I'm not going to slow down, I'm not going to stop, and I'm going to do everything I physically can to raise that £250,000 that Ollies Army desperately needs.